Welcome to another deep dive.
Oh, yeah.
Today, we're going to be cracking open ancient Egyptian mysticism,
Okay.
and we're using the Kemetic Tree of Life by Dr. Muada Ashby as our guide for this journey.
All right.
We'll be uncovering its key concepts and symbolism,
Mm-hmm.
but more importantly,
Right.
we'll explore how this ancient system can illuminate our own lives today.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun one.
It's fascinating how the Tree of Life imagery transcends cultures and time periods. It speaks to something deeply rooted in our collective human experience.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I find so fascinating as well.
Yeah.
And Dr. Ashby actually highlights this pretty early on in the book.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about the prevalence of the tree goddess motif in ancient Egyptian art.
Okay.
We even have an image here, figure 1,
Okay.
showing people worshiping her.
Oh, wow.
It's interesting to note that tree imagery shows up in other spiritual traditions as well.
Right.
Take a look at figure 2,
Okay.
which compares Egyptian, Christian, and Buddhist examples. I'm curious, from your perspective, why do you think the tree is such a universal symbol of life and spirituality?
Well, I think trees represent growth, interconnectedness, and a connection to something larger than ourselves. It's a visual reminder of the cycles of life, death, and renewal that we all experience.
Yeah.
It's no wonder they appear as potent spiritual symbols across diverse cultures.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Ashby takes us deeper into Egyptian mythology
Okay.
with the story of Asar,
Mm-hmm.
the god of the underworld, or what they call the Duat.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that the Duat
Yeah.
isn't depicted as a place of punishment,
Okay.
but rather a realm of supreme peace.
Oh, interesting.
And Asar is linked to this intriguing symbol called the Djed pillar.
Oh, okay.
I have to admit, when I first saw it,
Yeah.
it looked a bit like a high-tech power outlet,
Oh.
but it turns out there's a much deeper meaning.
Uh-huh.
Could you shed some light on what the Djed represents?
So the Djed is fascinating. Figure 3 shows how its representation evolved from Asar's coffin into this pillar symbolizing the awakened human soul. What's powerful at the Djed is its unwavering stability, representing self-knowledge and the transcendence of duality that means moving beyond the limitations of opposing forces like life and death, good and evil.
So you mentioned the Djed represents the awakened soul.
Yes.
Could you elaborate on what the ancient Egyptians believed constituted an awakened soul?
Sure.
And how does this concept relate to our modern understanding of self-awareness and spiritual growth?
For the ancient Egyptians, an awakened soul was one firmly rooted in self-knowledge, a soul that recognized its divine nature and connection to the cosmos. They believed that through spiritual practice, we could cultivate this inner stability and tap into a higher level of consciousness, much like the Djed stands firm and unyielding.
So the Djed serves as a reminder that even amidst the chaos of life, we can cultivate inner peace and stability through self-awareness and connection to something greater than ourselves. It's a powerful symbol that still resonates today.
It really does.
Now, you mentioned the concept of duality,
Uh-huh.
which makes me think of the Kemetic Tree of Life in comparison to other systems like the Kabbalistic Tree of Life.
Right.
Could you walk us through some key similarities and differences?
Yeah.
We have a helpful visual here, figure 4, that compares the two.
So both systems offer a map for the spiritual journey, reflecting how different cultures view that journey. The Kemetic tree, in contrast to the Kabbalistic one, which is structured and hierarchical, is more fluid and dynamic.
Okay.
It emphasizes the interconnectedness of all things and the constant flow of energy through creation.
I'm noticing a theme of interconnectedness already.
Yeah, definitely.
Now let's dive into the Egyptian pantheon.
Okay.
Specifically, the Ennead.
All right.
That's the group of 9 divinities central to ancient Egyptian theology.
Right.
Picture them as the major players in their cosmic drama.
I like that.
Figure 5 shows a depiction of Ra's boat with these 9 figures. Could you introduce us to some of the key players and their significance?
So each divinity embodies a specific principle or force within creation and even within ourselves. We have Ra, the sun god, representing creative power.
Okay.
Nun, the primordial waters, represents the formless potential from which everything arises.
Wow.
And then there's Khepri, the scarab beetle god, symbolizing transformation and rebirth. Just look at figure 6. It shows Nun pushing Khepri's boat. It's a powerful visual representation of how creation emerges from the void.
It's incredible how the ancient Egyptians used these vivid images to convey complex concepts.
Yeah.
It makes them so much more accessible and relatable.
Yeah, I agree.
And these divinities weren't just abstract concepts.
Right.
They were woven into a complex system of temples throughout Egypt.
So each city had its own patron divinity, creating a network of temples, as shown in Diagram 1.
Okay.
This network was a physical representation of Nader, the supreme being. It's a powerful concept because it suggests that all these seemingly separate divinities were ultimately aspects of a unified whole, much like facets of a diamond.
It's like this system of temples served as a tangible reminder of the interconnectedness of all things.
Yeah.
Now, this idea of Neter is intriguing.
Yeah.
Could you expand on how the ancient Egyptians viewed this concept of a supreme being?
Neter wasn't viewed as a singular anthropomorphic god,
Hmm.
but rather as the underlying principle of creation itself.
Okay.
You can think of it as the source of all energy and consciousness, the divine spark that animates all things.
Yeah.
The various divinities were seen as expressions of Neter, different facets of this ultimate reality.
So it's less about worshiping individual deities and more about recognizing the divine essence that permeates everything.
Exactly.
That's a beautiful concept.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Ashby introduces this idea of Neter, which translates to divine speech.
Right.
Can you explain what this concept means and why it was so important to the ancient Egyptians?
Neter points to the power of language. To the ancient Egyptians, hieroglyphic writing wasn't just a means of communication. It was a way to connect with and sustain the divine.
Okay.
They believed that words held a creative power, and that by using them wisely, we could shape reality itself.
That's fascinating. It reframes our understanding of hieroglyphs.
Yeah.
They weren't just a system of writing, but a means of channeling divine energy. So it wasn't just what they said, but how they said it that held significance.
Right.
We have an example of this hieroglyphic script here, and it's incredible to think about the power imbued in these symbols.
Yeah, it is.
Now, in addition to divine speech, Dr. Ashby also delves into Shettitu, or hidden teachings.
Okay.
What role did these secret teachings play in ancient Egyptian spirituality?
The ancient Egyptians believed in Heko, the divine word, and Shettitu, the secret knowledge revealed through spiritual practice and initiation. It wasn't about keeping knowledge hidden, but about recognizing that certain truths are best understood through direct experience and inner transformation.
So it's not a secret club, but rather a journey of self-discovery, where knowledge is revealed as the seeker progresses.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. Could you give us an example of what some of these hidden teachings might have focused on?
They delved into the mysteries of creation, the nature of the soul, and the path to spiritual awakening, what they called Nehast.
Okay.
The ultimate goal was to unveil the true nature of reality and achieve union with the divine.
Dr. Ashby puts it beautifully in his book.
Mhm.
He says, "The end and aim of all these toils and labors is the attainment of the knowledge of the first and chief being, who alone is the object of the understanding of the mind."
Wow.
It highlights this yearning for self-knowledge and union with the divine that seems to be at the heart of the Kemetic tree of life.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, speaking of the divine, let's explore the sun god, Ra,
Okay.
a central figure in Egyptian mythology.
Right.
Now, Ra wasn't just a static deity.
Okay.
The ancient Egyptians understood him as a trinity, reflecting the cyclical nature of creation and dissolution. I'm curious about this trinity.
Yeah.
Could you break down the different aspects of Ra and what they represent?
Sure. There's Khepri, the creator, represented by the scarab beetle, symbolizing the potential for transformation and new beginnings.
Okay.
Then there's Ra, the sustainer, depicted in his full glory as the sun god, illuminating the world with his life-giving rays.
Wow.
Finally, we have Tim, the concluder, often depicted as an older man, representing the completion of a cycle and the wisdom that comes with age and experience. Figure 29 depicts this trinity beautifully.
It's like Ra embodies the entire cycle of existence, from birth to death and rebirth.
Yes.
That makes me wonder how this trinity connects back to the Kemetic tree of life.
Well, the Kemetic tree of life visually depicts the movement of creation and dissolution, as you can see in figure 18. It's a constant flow of energy, with Ra's trinity representing the different stages of this cosmic dance.
Okay.
Interestingly, the obelisk, or Teknu, plays a central role in this symbolism.
I'm definitely going to need to spend some time contemplating these images and their deeper meaning.
I agree.
It seems like every symbol in the Kemetic tree of life holds a wealth of wisdom waiting to be unlocked.
It really does. It's a system that continues to reveal new layers of meaning the more we delve into it.
Yeah.
And the ancient Egyptians believed that understanding these principles wasn't just an intellectual exercise.
Hmm.
It was about applying this knowledge to your own life, your own spiritual journey.
It's about embodying these principles and allowing them to guide our actions and interactions in the world.
Exactly.
That's a powerful takeaway.
Yeah, it is.
Now, before we move on, you mentioned the obelisk.
Yes.
Could you elaborate on its significance in the Kemetic tree of life?
The obelisk represents the primordial mound that arose from the waters of chaos in the beginning of creation. It symbolizes stability, strength, and the connection between the earthly and the divine.
Okay.
It's also associated with the sun god, Ra, and his journey across the sky.
I'm seeing a connection here between the Djed pillar, representing the awakened soul, and the obelisk, symbolizing this primordial creative force.
Yeah,
Is there a relationship between these two symbols?
absolutely.
Okay.
Both the Djed and the obelisk represent stability and a connection to the divine. The Djed represents the awakened soul that stands firm amidst the chaos of life, while the obelisk represents the primordial creative power that gave rise to the universe itself. They're both potent symbols of the divine spark that resides within each of us.
That's a beautiful way to tie those concepts together.
Thank you.
Now, I'm curious about another aspect of the Kemetic tree of life, the concept of the seven souls of Ra, or Sefek Bar Ra.
Okay.
What can you tell us about these souls and their significance?
So this gets into the fascinating concept of the soul in ancient Egyptian thought.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't believe in just one soul. They believed in multiple aspects of the soul, each with its own function and purpose. The seven souls of Ra are associated with seven spheres of consciousness, represented by the scale of Ma'at, as shown in Figure 29.
Could you elaborate on these seven spheres of consciousness?
Sure.
What are they, and how do they relate to our own understanding of the soul or the self?
The seven souls of Ra represent different aspects of our being, ranging from the physical body to the highest spiritual consciousness. The scale of Ma'at represents the process of purifying and refining these aspects of the self in order to achieve spiritual wholeness.
So it's a journey of integrating all these different parts of ourselves, bringing them into alignment with the principles of Ma'at, or truth and justice.
Exactly.
That makes me think of the concept of serpent power, or Arat Sekem, which is mentioned in relation to the seven souls of Ra.
Right.
What did the ancient Egyptians believe about serpent power and its role in spiritual evolution?
Serpent power, or Arat Sekem, is the life force energy that flows through all of creation.
Okay.
Figure 27 depicts this energy as a serpent winding its way up the spine. The ancient Egyptians believed that by awakening and purifying the energy centers in the body, we could tap into this primal force and accelerate our spiritual evolution.
I've heard of chakras. Are they similar to the energy centers the ancient Egyptians described?
Yes, there are definite parallels.
Okay.
The ancient Egyptians recognized that the human body is more than just flesh and bones.
Right.
It's a vessel for spiritual energy. By working with this energy consciously, we can achieve higher states of consciousness and experience union with the divine.
It seems like the Kemetic tree of life offers a comprehensive map for this journey of spiritual awakening, from understanding the nature of the soul to harnessing the power of divine speech and purifying our energy centers.
Yeah.
It's an incredible system of knowledge that's both profound and practical.
I agree. It's a system that stood the test of time because it speaks to something deep within the human spirit.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that we're all on a journey of self-discovery and that the ancient Egyptians offered us a roadmap to navigate this journey with wisdom and grace.
It's a journey I'm eager to continue exploring.
Me too.
We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive, but there's still so much more to uncover. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll delve deeper into the practical applications of the Kemetic tree of life and how we can integrate its wisdom into our modern lives. Welcome back to our deep dive into the Kemetic tree of life.
Oh, yeah.
Last time we explored the symbolism of the Djed pillar, met the Ennead,
Right.
and even delved into the seven souls of Ra.
Yeah.
We were left pondering the concept of serpent power and how the ancient Egyptians viewed the human body as a vessel for spiritual energy. It's all pretty mind-blowing stuff.
It's a testament to the depth and complexity of ancient Egyptian thought. They didn't shy away from exploring the mysteries of existence.
Right.
And their insights continue to resonate with us today.
Absolutely. And now I'm curious about how these different concepts and symbols fit together within the larger framework of the Kemetic tree of life.
Yeah.
We've talked about individual divinities, but how does the system as a whole help us understand the human experience?
The Kemetic tree of life is a dynamic map of the spiritual journey.
Okay.
It shows us how the divine manifests in different aspects of creation and how we can cultivate those same qualities within ourselves. Think of it as a guide to unlocking our full potential as spiritual beings.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's not just about memorizing a bunch of symbols and stories,
Right.
but about understanding how they reflect the inner workings of our own minds and spirits.
Exactly.
It's about recognizing the divine spark within ourselves and cultivating it through conscious effort.
Yes.
Precisely.
Yeah.
The Kemetic tree of life provides a framework for understanding the different stages of spiritual growth, the challenges we face along the way,
Right.
and the ultimate goal of union with the divine.
It's a beautiful system.
Now, you mentioned challenges, and it makes me think of Set, the god of chaos, often portrayed as the bad guy in Egyptian mythology.
Right.
How does Set fit into this framework of spiritual growth?
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to represent the kind of peace and harmony we typically associate with spiritual traditions.
Set is a fascinating and often misunderstood figure. He represents the forces of chaos and disruption, which might seem antithetical to spiritual growth, but are actually essential for transformation. Think of a seed that needs to break through its hard shell in order to sprout and grow.
Right.
That process is chaotic and disruptive.
Yeah.
But it's necessary for new life to emerge.
That's a great analogy.
Thank you.
So Set isn't the enemy.
No.
He's the catalyst for change.
Right.
The force that shakes us out of our complacency and pushes us to evolve.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see Set in a whole new light.
Good.
It's a reminder that even the aspects of ourselves that we might perceive as negative or destructive can actually serve a purpose in our spiritual development. It's about integrating all parts of ourselves, embracing both the light and the shadow.
That's a key principle in the Kemetic tree of life.
Yeah.
It's a holistic system that recognizes the importance of balance and integration. It doesn't shy away from the darker aspects of human experience.
Right.
It acknowledges them as part of the journey.
That's what I find so empowering about this system.
Yeah.
It's realistic and acknowledges the full spectrum of human experience. It's not about striving for some unattainable ideal of perfection,
Right.
but about embracing the messy and beautiful complexity of life.
Well said.
Thanks.
The Kemetic tree of life offers us a way to navigate that complexity with wisdom and grace.
Yeah.
It encourages us to embrace all parts of ourselves, to learn from our challenges,
Right.
and to cultivate the divine spark that resides within each of us.
Now, we've been talking a lot about concepts and symbolism.
Okay.
But I'm curious about the practical side of things.
Yeah.
What did the ancient Egyptians actually do to cultivate these divine qualities within themselves? What practices did they engage in to support their spiritual growth?
Meditation was a central practice,
Okay.
but it wasn't just about sitting quietly and emptying the mind.
Oh, really?
They used visualization, breath work,
Okay.
and chanting to connect with the divine energies represented by the different divinities.
So it was an active form of meditation, engaging both the mind and body.
Right.
It wasn't about escaping from reality, but about using these techniques to transform their experience of reality.
Exactly.
They also placed great emphasis on ritual purity and ethical conduct, as embodied by the principles of Ma'at.
All right.
They believed that how you lived your life directly impacted your spiritual progress.
Yes.
It wasn't enough to simply perform rituals.
Right.
You had to live in alignment with truth, justice, and harmony.
It's like a cosmic feedback loop.
Yeah.
What you put out into the world comes back to you. Your actions, thoughts, and intentions create ripples that affect not only yourself, but also the world around you.
Yeah.
The ancient Egyptians understood that personal transformation is inextricably linked to societal transformation.
Right.
By living in accordance with Ma'at, we create a more just and harmonious world for ourselves and for future generations.
It's a powerful message that's just as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We can't separate our personal growth from the well-being of the planet and all its inhabitants.
I agree.
Now, in addition to meditation and ethical conduct, did the ancient Egyptians use any other practices to support their spiritual development?
They also used temple rituals and initiations to deepen their spiritual understanding and connect with the divine on a more visceral level.
Okay.
These rituals involved chanting, music,
Okay.
dance, and offerings, creating a multisensory experience that allowed participants to tap into a higher state of consciousness.
It sounds like they understood the importance of engaging all the senses in order to create a truly transformative experience.
Yes.
These rituals weren't just dry ceremonies.
No, they were vibrant and engaging, designed to awaken the soul and connect it to the divine.
Exactly.
They recognize that the body is not separate from the spirit,
Right.
but rather a vehicle for spiritual experience. By engaging the body through ritual,
Right.
they could access deeper levels of consciousness and connect with the divine in a more embodied way.
Yeah, that's beautifully said.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is also fascinating. I'm starting to see how the Kemetic tree of life isn't just a collection of abstract concepts,
Right.
but a living system that offers practical tools for spiritual growth. It's a system that's been tested and refined over centuries,
Yeah.
and its wisdom continues to speak to us today.
I agree.
Now we've touched on the journey of the soul after death in earlier discussions.
Okay.
I'm eager to delve deeper into this aspect of the Kemetic tree of life.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the ancient Egyptian beliefs surrounding death and the afterlife?
The ancient Egyptians believed that death wasn't the end, but rather a transition to a new state of being. The soul embarked on a journey through the underworld, the duat,
Okay.
facing challenges and tests along the way.
Right?
It was a perilous journey,
Yeah.
but it was also a journey of purification and transformation,
Okay.
a process of shedding attachments and preparing for a new level of existence.
It sounds like the challenges the soul faced in the afterlife mirror the challenges we face in life.
Yes.
It's a reminder that growth and transformation are ongoing processes that continue even after death.
Exactly.
The ancient Egyptians believed that the soul continued to evolve in the afterlife, just as it does in life.
Yeah.
The journey through the duat was a process of refinement,
Right.
a way for the soul to shed its imperfections and move closer to the divine. We briefly touched on the weighing of the heart ceremony earlier.
Right.
Could you explain the significance of this ceremony and how it relates to the soul's journey through the duat?
The weighing of the heart ceremony was a central part of the judgment process in the afterlife.
Okay.
The heart, representing the conscience and the seat of the soul, was weighed against a feather, symbolizing mat, truth, and justice.
Right.
If the heart was lighter than the feather,
Yeah.
meaning the person had lived a virtuous life,
Okay.
they would be granted access to the afterlife.
Yeah.
If the heart was heavier, burdened by negative deeds,
Right.
they would face a less desirable fate.
It sounds like a cosmic performance review.
Right.
But it's not about being perfect.
No.
It's about striving to live in alignment with Matt, even amidst the challenges of human existence.
Precise.
The ancient Egyptians understood that we're all imperfect beings,
Yeah.
but they believed that it's through our efforts to live in accordance with truth, justice, and harmony that we purify our hearts and prepare our souls for the afterlife.
Yes, a very profound concept.
It's a powerful reminder that our actions have consequences, not just in this life, but also in the next. Now, what happened to the souls that passed the weighing of the heart ceremony?
Okay.
What did the afterlife actually look like for the ancient Egyptians?
The ancient Egyptians had a variety of beliefs about the afterlife, but one common theme was the concept of the field of reeds,
Okay.
a paradise where the soul could experience eternal bliss.
Right.
It was described as a lush and fertile land
Uh-huh.
where the soul could enjoy all the pleasures of life without the limitations of the physical body.
It sounds like a pretty sweet deal.
It does.
But it wasn't just about indulging in earthly pleasures, was it?
Right.
What else did the soul do in the afterlife?
The field of reeds wasn't just a place of passive enjoyment.
Okay.
The soul could continue to evolve and learn in the afterlife, pursuing knowledge and wisdom alongside the gods.
Wow.
They believed in the eternal potential of the soul.
Yeah.
Even after death, the journey continued.
So it's like a cosmic university where the soul can continue to expand its understanding and connect with the divine on a deeper level.
Exactly.
That makes me wonder,
Yeah.
did the soul ever return to the physical world after experiencing the afterlife? Did the ancient Egyptians believe in reincarnation?
Reincarnation wasn't a central tenet of their beliefs, but they did have concepts that touched upon the idea of the soul returning to the physical realm.
Okay.
One such concept is the Ba,
Right.
which represented the soul's personality and its ability to move between the worlds of the living and the dead.
So while they may not have had a fully developed concept of reincarnation as we understand it today,
Right.
they did recognize the soul's ability to transcend the boundaries of the physical realm and to potentially return to the world of the living in some form.
Exactly.
Their understanding of the soul was nuanced and complex.
Yeah.
And it reflected their deep reverence for the mysteries of life and death.
I agree.
This has been an incredible exploration of the soul's journey in the Kemetic tree of life.
Yeah, it has.
It's given me a whole new perspective on death and the afterlife. And it's comforting to know that the ancient Egyptians believed that the journey doesn't end with the physical body.
Yeah.
There's so much more to discover in this vast and intricate system of knowledge.
Absolutely.
And I'm eager to continue our exploration in part 3.
Me too.
Where we'll delve deeper into the practical applications of the Kemetic tree of life and how we can integrate its wisdom into our modern lives. Welcome back to our final part of this deep dive into the Kemetic tree of life.
Oh, yeah.
We've covered so much ground,
Right.
from exploring the symbolism of the Djed pillar
Right.
to understanding the ancient Egyptian concept of the soul.
Uh-huh.
We even took a trip to the field of reeds,
Yeah.
their vision of the afterlife.
Right.
Now let's bring it all home.
Okay.
How can we apply the wisdom of this ancient system to our modern lives?
Well, that's the key question, isn't it?
Yeah.
The beauty of the Kemetic tree of life is that it's not just an ancient relic.
Right.
It's a living system
Mm-hmm.
that offers timeless insights into the human condition. It's a guide to navigating the complexities of life,
Mm-hmm.
cultivating inner peace,
Mm-hmm.
and realizing our full potential as spiritual beings.
Yeah. It can feel a little overwhelming, though, right?
It can.
I mean, we've encountered so many fascinating concepts.
Mhm.
Serpent power,
Right.
Medunator,
Yeah.
the weighing of the heart ceremony.
Right.
How do we take all of this ancient wisdom
Yeah.
and make it relevant to our daily lives?
Well, one powerful way is through meditation
Okay.
and visualization.
Mhm.
Imagine yourself at the base of this magnificent tree,
Okay.
its roots grounded in the earth,
Mm-hmm.
its branches reaching toward the heavens.
Right.
Feel the energy of the different divinities flowing through you,
Wow.
each representing a quality or aspect of your own being.
You know, as you're describing this, I'm
Yeah.
actually starting to feel a sense of calm and groundedness.
Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing how a simple visualization can shift our energy so quickly.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's about cultivating a felt sense of connection to these divine principles.
Okay.
You can also work with specific divinities,
Mm.
calling upon their energy and wisdom to support you in specific areas of your life.
Oh, wow.
For example, if you're feeling stuck,
Right.
you might call upon Kepri, the scarab beetle god,
Okay.
to help with transformation and rebirth.
Right.
Or if you're seeking guidance and clarity,
Mm.
you might connect with Saishat, the goddess of wisdom and writing.
So it's like having a divine support team,
Right.
each member offering their unique gifts and expertise.
Exactly.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
It makes the ancient Egyptian pantheon feel so much more accessible and personal.
I think that's the key.
Yeah.
It's about finding ways to make these ancient teachings come alive in your own experience.
Mhm.
You don't need to become an Egyptologist to benefit from their wisdom.
Right.
Simply explore the concepts that resonate with you
Yeah.
and find ways to integrate them into your daily life.
Now, you mentioned earlier that the ancient Egyptians placed great emphasis on living in accordance with Ma'at.
Yeah.
How can we incorporate the principles of Ma'at truth, justice, balance, and harmony into our own lives?
It starts with awareness,
Okay.
paying attention to your thoughts, actions, and intentions,
Mm-hmm.
and asking yourself if they're aligned with those principles,
Oh, that's a good idea.
and being honest with yourself and others.
Right.
Are you acting in ways that promote justice and fairness?
Ah.
Are you striving to create balance and harmony in your relationships and your environment?
Yeah, it sounds like living a monolined life is about being mindful and making conscious choices that reflect these values.
Yes, exactly.
It's not about achieving some unattainable ideal of perfection,
Right.
but rather about making an effort to live in a way that contributes to the greater good.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's a lifelong journey of self-reflection and growth.
Right.
The Kemetic tree of life offers a roadmap for this journey,
Mm-hmm.
reminding us that we're all connected and that our actions have ripple effects that extend far beyond ourselves.
Yeah. It makes me think of that quote from Dr. Ashby's book.
Oh, yeah.
He says, "The end and aim of all these toils and labors is the attainment of the knowledge of the first and chief being, who alone is the object of the understanding of the mind."
It's beautiful.
It speaks to this deep yearning within us to connect with something larger than ourselves, to find meaning and purpose in our lives.
And the Kemetic tree of life offers a path for that journey.
Right.
It encourages us to look inward, to cultivate self-knowledge,
Yeah.
to connect with the divine within and around us, and to live in a way that reflects those truths.
This has been such an enriching deep dive.
It has been.
I feel like I've not only gained a deeper understanding of ancient Egyptian spirituality, but I've also been given practical tools to apply this wisdom to my own life.
I'm delighted to hear that
Hey.
Kemetic tree of life is a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
The more you explore it, the more you'll discover its hidden depths
Right.
and the ways in which it can illuminate your own journey.
For listeners who are eager to continue their exploration,
Yeah.
what resources would you recommend?
Well, Dr. Mwada Ashby's book, The Kemetic Tree of Life, is an excellent starting point.
Okay.
It provides a comprehensive overview of the system and its symbolism.
Right.
There are also many other books, websites, and online courses that delve deeper into specific aspects of the Kemetic Tree of Life.
And don't forget those museums and their online collections.
Oh, right.
Seeing those ancient artifacts firsthand, even digitally, really brings the concepts to life.
It really does.
Yeah.
The key is to keep exploring, keep learning,
Yeah.
and keep integrating this wisdom into your own experience.
Right.
The Kemetic Tree of Life is a living system
Yeah.
that will continue to unfold and reveal new layers of meaning as you deepen your connection to it.
This deep dive has been truly transformative.
It has.
Thank you for sharing your expertise and insights with us.
It was my pleasure.
I know our listeners are feeling inspired to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery and spiritual growth, guided by the wisdom of the Kemetic Tree of Life.
I hope so.
Until next time, keep seeking, keep growing, and keep reaching for the stars.